Alrighty, so I'm making a part 2 basically to what I spoke about in one of my other videos, so I'll put a link in the description. This is the side that doesn't normally open. I'll have to put a screw in the bottom. Probably not needed. Anyway, so that works perfect with the mechanism on the opposite side there. And you can see window opening here. Beautiful. Now the problem is when you open the door, the sliding door that is, it opens all the way, but and you can see there's plenty of clearance there with the window open. The problem is when this window's closed, on mine that is, when this window's closed, that little handle there doesn't come far enough back. Now I think I know the reason for that. So when you open up this window, even though it does open and pushes a little bit against that there, it's not really doing any harm. Over time, that handle rubbing in glass will scratch the glass. Other than that, I'll just stand back a little bit. Other than that handle there on that front window, everything's alright. Now I'll show you a problem with my window, why my clip here doesn't shut properly, which I think will in a minute, once I fix it up, is you can see, and I didn't know this until looking at it today, that my hinge is loose. And I'm going to replace that anyway because the outside's broken. So I'm going to replace that now and then do a continue test. Oh, look at that, my tint is starting to lift there as well. I have to fix that before it gets any worse. Alrighty, so I got this part all fixed up now, and you can see there is still just a little bit of clearance there in that window. So I push the door back that little bit more. It does that little bit of a rub, just a tiny bit there. I mean, like literally, I don't even think it's rubbing. I think it's probably about a mil off it. So you'd want to probably be careful of that. And just have a look around here. So you can see the bottom part of the door, the material where it's rubbing on the glass there. But it's only a little bit of a door there. It's not. That's not going to cause any dramas. Material rubbing on the glass isn't going to cause any problems. You can see around here, the door trim's, the roof's not in properly there. You wouldn't know without opening this window though. And get into and get all that rubbish from behind there too now. And if we open up this other window, I'm going to leave it like this. I like the idea of being able to open up this window. Just a bit more footage of anything I'm not talking about. Might not have thought about at the time. You can raise the question a little bit later, but I'm happy with that. Going to make it better for the people who travel in the back, that they can open up the window on the opposite side as well. Make the trip a little bit more bearable. If you really wanted to stop the door going all the way, you could put a rubber stopper in there just to stop it from going that little bit further too far back. Problem is though, At the moment there's a latch there that holds the door open. If you stop it going too far back, the latch won't catch. But you can put probably say a centimetre rubber in there and the latch will still work. Yeah, because let's just say put a rubber in there, so about a centimetre big. Bottom part there doesn't really matter. Where the material is rubbing the glass, it's up to you that. It's neither here or there, but if you really wanted to stop it from going that little bit further, so to prevent the glass hitting the handle, a little rubber will help, a little stopper. I don't think I'll bother with it though. If it really bothers me, I might just put some like material, glue it onto the handle itself, just to make it so when it does rub the glass, if it ever does rub the glass, that it's not doing any damage. That'll be about it. I'm happy I did this. The next step to this process is, with the door trimming on, the hinge won't close. So I need to trim this to bring it like the opposite side. You can see the differences there. This one's flat with the gap there, and you can see where the hinge is pushing against the door trim there, and I won't allow it to close. So if I was to trim it back there to that point, and the bottom section to this point, and to there, that should be all I need. I need to peel this material up and cut the plastic underneath it so I can mould the material back around. And hopefully it looks original. Well, it looks like that's not going to happen. I can't peel the material back off the plastic. She looks like she's glued on there good and proper. So what I'll do is I'll follow the creases here. Show you where the camera is. Follow the creases on the inside here, on both sides there. Bring it down about a centimetre, and I'm just going to use a sharp knife is all I have here, and I'm just going to keep scratching at where I want it to be to try and make it as straight as possible. And I'll get to that and show you how it looks. Okay, I just want to show you what I'm trying to do here. Is I've cut the area that I want. Now I'm just trying to use a pointing knife. Just trying to cut the material back, scratching against the plastic there, trying to save the bit of material so I can mould it back around and make it look like it was meant to be. So I can mould that now. Before I do though, I'm going to bring this bit of plastic here straight. Let's try and keep the looks of it the same as the opposite side. Careful not to burn the carpet. Just holding onto it for a minute just so it can cool down into shape. It's like I don't know what material this is, but it's really easy to heat up and stick back down. Sorry I can't get the angle on the camera any better than that. If I try and tilt it anymore, it'll fall down. Okay, these will get washed. Well, you can see it's a bit dirty. These will be washed and resprayed a little bit further down the track. But look at that. It doesn't look too bad, does it? In comparison to the other one, it looks good. Alright, so the hinge gap is right. Might need to come a little bit deeper, so what I'll do is I'll go to the van now and put this back on and see if it all closes and how it looks. Okay, so it's looking good, but you can see it doesn't quite stay shut. I need to make this area a little bit flat. As you can see, it's got the bulge on it still. Let me heat gun, make that area flat, and she should be right. So there you go, she's in. My grubby hands didn't do it really much justice, but now she works properly. Have my interior back in. Well, that's it. That's about all she wrote. So thanks for watching, guys. Plenty more to come. I don't say this too often, but please subscribe. And yeah, I'll be getting a couple of hinges next. I noticed that this one here is starting to go bad, so I'll go back to the yard next week. I'll grab myself a couple of hinges. Might even be a couple of broken hinges that I have to repair, and that will be a video in itself. Cheers, guys.